The team that I really changed my opinion on, though, is the Titans.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that they were good going into the year. I just was worried that they were a little limited at, offensively in terms of the passing game. But now, after the first few games and after that game on Tuesday night, I can now see that I don't believe they really are as limited as we may have thought, or at least I thought. I think this team is quite dangerous, to be honest. And yeah, I think this team is probably maybe the best team in the AFC. Maybe.
Here's the deal with the Titans. This division was weird. We went. I don't remember. Did I have the Titans winning the division?
You had the Texans.
I had the Texans winning the division. Look, in the back of my mind, I thought the Titans would be good. I still had some, tighten up belief, so if you will, with the Titans. I thought bringing back Tannehill had a chance. There's a chance Tannehill could have regressed a little bit, but I wasn't too worried. I think right now those opinions in the back of my head need to go to the front of my head, because this Titans team doesn't have too many problems, and Tannehill doesn't look like a game manager. He looks like a legit quarterback, and we saw it in the playoffs. We saw it towards the end of last year. I don't know. Tannehill's career looks revitalized, obviously, with no Adam Gase handling his offensive production. I think that's pretty clear. Everyone that leaves
Definitely
Adam
not a trend
Gase,
there.
yeah, everyone that leaves Adam Gase, or other than Peyton Manning, seems to be in a better spot at this point. But no, I think everything that I thought in the back of my head after the Titans' amazing season last year needs to go to the front of my head. Brandon, your thoughts on Tennessee right now?
So, I believe the Titans benefited from a long break.
You think they benefited from the fact that they were out for 2 weeks?
I did. Because, as we know, they were practicing together.
When they shouldn't have.
When they weren't supposed to be.
Yeah, that fricked up the schedule for everybody.
They basically got a long-ass bye, got to practice, and didn't get punished. If I'm a Bills fan, I'm pissed off right now.
The thing
Just
is, though,
saying.
I will say this. I do agree with you. However, if it were like a close game and the Titans won, then I would think, yeah, okay, they definitely benefited from that. And they did. However, I mean, this game was not even close. I mean, the Bills looked like a high school team.
Right, but that's my point. Like, the Bills have been playing game after game after game.
No, I know, but I just think...
I don't know. I just feel like...
Yes, Tennessee benefited from the time off. However, the fact that they won with that big of a lead just goes to show that they are just a good team.
Right, I'm not saying they're not a good...
team,
I'm not saying they're not a good team, but, like...
Right.
I
know what you mean.
I don't know. I'm just...
But you're wrong.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Shane, let me ask you this question as someone who is, coaching on a high school staff. Obviously, it's a lot different at the NFL level. But what if you had, you're in, let's say, week 4 or week 5 of a season, and they say, oh, you have to take 2 weeks off and then come back. Do you think that's an actual advantage for these teams? I mean, I don't see it as that much of an advantage. In fact, I see it more as a disadvantage for a football team. Do you agree?
There's pros and cons to it. Because when you have extra time off, yeah, you can, you get more time to rest, more time to recover, and then of course more time to practice and prepare for your next opponent.
But let's say you don't get that, because I mean they didn't. I mean they did have the practices, but a lot of it was virtual. That was it was a
Right.
pretty big group of people who said let's practice. But realistically speaking, it wasn't everybody. So let's say you're in this situation where you're doing what we're doing now on Zoom, analyzing plays on Zoom and stuff like that. Imagine if you had to
Right.
deal with all of that on top of it. Is it really that much of an advantage?
Well, that's the thing. With the advantage to not having time off is that you're still playing. You're still in the groove. You know what I mean? You're still getting out there, putting the pads on, going out on Friday night or Sunday, whatever it is. And that's, that rhythm, that constant, engagement in an actual game. That's what, keeps your skill up. You know what I mean? It's different for the pros because they have, how do I say this? They don't always need an actual game experience because sorry, I was gonna sneeze because no, I lost my train of thought. Because they, in the pros, they know how to tackle. They know what it feels like to get hit, whatever. However, when you're younger, that's a skill you always have to be practically keeping up on. You know what I mean? So, for pros, I mean, I think it is a bit of a benefit because, the guys that you're getting hit by are so much bigger and so much stronger that if you can have another week off just to let your body recover, that is fantastic. You know what I mean? So, and then, you can still, like you said, just do stuff virtually, learning, game plans, whatever. So for pros, I do think it's more of an advantage, but for like high school or college, I would say it's more of a disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.